Hi everybody. I have an email here from someone. We often get questions through our website, through our email, through our video page, through Facebook. Questions about how our school runs and how it's different from other schools. I wrote down this email here. It's asking about what do we do after we hit level 4 black belt. What happens after you earn your black belt? Do you just stop training after that? Do you continue? What's your program like? So I'm going to address that today. Take what you can out of it. Our school is certainly different from other schools. Everyone, every training group, every school will have their unique way of doing things after black belt. Some schools don't even have a program after black belt. But I'll just tell you a little bit about what we do, and hopefully you can apply that or take something out of this. If you don't train in the martial arts, this might seem like a very boring video to you. It may not apply to you at all, or it may. The good news about a lot of the stuff I talk about is it seems to apply not just to martial arts, but to sports that we might do, hobbies that we might do, relationships we're in. It applies at work. This stuff seems to spill over into all areas of our life, and that's what I love about martial arts training is it transcends just that genre. So this person asked, what happens after you reach black belt? Well, you have to remember that black belt is just another step on this never-ending path of martial arts, this never-ending path of Budo. And again, I always visualize a mountain, and each step that we take is one step closer to the top of the mountain. Yet the ultimate goal is once you get to the top of the mountain, you can see there's an entire other range of mountains. So you can't ever really become a master. You can never be good enough. We're just a little bit better than we were yesterday. That's what the journey of Budo means. Shodan is what we call the first degree black belt. It's just one step. It's the lowest of the black belt steps. It's what we call a beginner degree. It's the first step on the path. Once you've reached your black belt, and each school is different, our particular school, we have quite a lot of requirements and challenges to get you there. It takes minimum 4, 5, or 6 years in our school to get your black belt. Other schools, it might be 2 years or 3. You really have to check with your teacher in your area to see what your requirements are for your particular training group. But we do expect more of you as a leader. There's a lot of testing to get to black belt in the brown belt stages. Well, once you hit your black belt, the celebration's over, everything quiets down, your tests are done, you come into the dojo with your nice shiny new black belt, you're feeling pretty proud of yourself. But there are no more accolades, there are no more stripes to earn. Now it's a matter of running a marathon. And in my notes here, the word marathon, if you think about it, comes from a fabled run of a Greek soldier called Phidippides. And Phidippides was rumored to have run non-stop from one place to the other, and he delivered the news of the victory over the Persians from the Battle of Marathon to Athens. So supposedly in this, it's probably a fable and a myth, this person ran a long way to deliver a message about this battle. Perhaps the standard marathon, he ran that many miles or kilometers, no one really knows. But the point of a marathon is it's not a sprint, it's not a fast race. Each person spreads out once you hit black belt. You go at your own pace. So you can imagine a whole bunch of runners start at the race, 100 of you. After the first mile or 2, you're all still together. After mile 5 or 10, you start to spread way out. And a lot of people quit, a lot of people drop off, they die of exhaustion, whatever it might be. And then only one person's going to win. Only a few people are going to pass that finish line if they're determined enough. That's what the training is like in black belt. It is like a marathon, so you have to think of it that way. Always expect most people to quit. That's just the odds are with everything, and you can agree with this with relationships and with endeavors that we have, different hobbies that we have. Most people only do it for a certain amount of time, and then they quit. That's very natural. There's nothing wrong with quitting as long as you understand it is quitting. It's not like you're taking a break. It is actually, you're stopping, you're quitting. Everybody, my teachers always said, everybody quits. It's just a matter of when they quit, so don't forget that. Some people want to just earn a high school degree, and that's what a black belt is. It's like earning your high school degree. Very few are going to want to go on to college. If you stick with it, the higher degrees, Nidan, Sandan, Yondan, Godan, Rokodan, Nanadan, all these Hachidan, all these different high-level ranks are for those that want a doctorate, those that want a higher bachelor's degree, those that want to become a professor, those that want to teach one day. And if you didn't quit on this long marathon path up the mountain, you would indeed attain these ranks just by showing up to class, which we know is the secret to success. They also ask about younger students. Do you allow younger students in your level 4 program? The answer is yes. However, the odds are stacked even more against a younger student. Say they're 15, 14, 13. They have an even harder time with black belt training because the training in our school does get more difficult, more demanding. We hit harder, we do way high-level concepts, we break down techniques, we counter techniques, we counter the counter to the techniques, we do a lot of long flows that might involve 10 to 15 different moves. And for a youth student's mind, it's very, very difficult to process that information. And they also train with adults, so they can get very frustrated when someone's always bigger than them. So youth students have many things stacked against them. They're also in sports, they're in school, so they have to worry about homework. They have social events with friends that they want to go to. They have boy and girlfriends, all the hormones are kicking in. And of course they rebel in general to anything their parents tell them to do. So if their parents say, "Little Johnny, I want you to keep training in level 4. I want you to get your 2nd degree black belt." Well, of course, little Johnny's going to say, "Dad, I don't want to do that anymore. Leave me alone. I earned my black belt. Let me go do something else. I want to go play basketball now. I want to go to dance lessons now," whatever it might be. It's very difficult for a youth student, and I have yet to have a single student in my school, which I've been running for over 10 years, to have one single get to Nidan. It's extremely difficult, very rare. If you have Nidans in your school, excellent, good job. Another thing people want to do when they get their black belt is they start to question the sensei. It's that sense of arrogance that comes into play. Look at me, I'm a black belt now. Sensei tells you to do something and you kind of, you think you know it all now. So you kind of go up against the sensei. You question his or her technique. You question their ability. You kind of prop yourself up so that you're a little bit arrogant. That's a natural process that I see all black belts go through as well. It's nothing unusual to have that cockiness and that arrogance. That usually goes away with time. Your teacher can stop that, or you just kind of get tired of it. Another thing students do is after they get their black belt, again, this goes across the board with any type of sport or activity, they get lazy. All of us, when we attain our black belt, most people get very lazy. They used to come to 5, 6 classes a week, and now you barely see them once a week, maybe twice a week. Most people, it's once. So I think that they have this sense of entitlement that once I've earned my black belt, I can take my time now, I don't have to show up. God forbid I come to a beginner class or an intermediate class. I'm only going to come to the advanced master's class because I'm a black belt. That's just a natural human process. This arrogance again comes into play. So laziness of black belts is a huge problem that every school, I have a lot of friends in many different martial arts from literally around the world, and when I talk to them on the phone, they all have the same exact issues I'm talking to you about today. They all say, "Where are my black belts? I have 15 brown belts, I have 25 green belts, I have 3 black belts showing up for class." It's very, very natural. Another thing is, if you don't have the passion for martial arts, boredom seeks in, so you get bored coming to class. You have to recognize the positive benefits of training. If I didn't have these positive benefits in my training, I wouldn't be training right now. The positive benefits are to stay young and to stay healthy, and we learn how to deal with life's problems. If you're frustrated and stressed and angry, you can come in and hit targets. You can work on tactics. You hang out with very positive people at the dojo, people that aren't going to hold you down or make fun of you or hold you back for who you are. So you can never forget, you have to become a tactician of problem solving. You need to learn how to use level 4 training to apply it to all parts of our life. It's very important once you hit a black belt to pace yourself and to know that everything I'm learning I can apply to every other area of my life. It really is like college. You have to be willing to learn at your own pace. Again, we talked about that marathon. In our particular dojo, in order for you to progress in your rank, you have to do what we call star demos. Every 3 or 4 months, you have to have so many classes in that you take, and you have to learn the material that I'm teaching you, and then you have to perform a demo at our graduation. Anywhere from 15 to 20 techniques, you have to perform it with a person. You have to look good and know your stuff. I usually approve the demo before it happens. Once you've done your demo and the crowd claps for you and everything, you're feeling great, you earn a little star and you put that on your gi. You need about 9 of those to move forward, so you have to do 9 times 3 is 27 months minimum, at least 2.5, sometimes 3 years to get to your next rank. Unlike a lot of martial arts, which I can't stand, they push their practitioners up every 6 months to a year to a new rank. To me, that is disgusting. It's a terrible habit. I'll never do it. I think that it's terrible. It's just an insult to martial arts. However, if your school does it that way and it works for you, go for it. If you're a black belt, you have to become a history buff. You have to dig into the deeper parts of the martial arts. You have to look at the principles and study the history. Where did this come from? In our case, we have 9 lineages. That's a massive amount of knowledge to know. You couldn't possibly master 1 school, never mind master 9. We have hundreds, literally hundreds of techniques. And then we have the counters to those techniques. We have the Kion Happo, which you could study for 50 years and still not know. We have all the philosophy. We have unbelievable amounts of philosophy that we discuss and talk about. You have dozens of different weapons, from modern to old, to firearms, knives, swords, staves, sticks, throwing stars, everything you can imagine. Your mind is a weapon, your body is a weapon, your gi is a weapon, your clothing, your car, everything becomes a weapon. So again, we can't possibly master it all. It literally never ends for those who are hungry enough to train. So you have to maintain the course like a ship through the night. You can't go off course. You can't, when you do hit a storm, and you will, when you do feel like quitting, you have to maintain your course. You have to keep running that marathon no matter what. You're going to see a lot of your friends quit. You're going to see a lot of your closest training partners quit because, again, they couldn't finish that marathon. That's okay. You have to let them go. You have to maintain your goals, maintain your dreams, maintain your focus. Self-mastery is not possible, and therein lies the paradox. Again, it is totally arrogant to say that you can master these martial arts. You cannot. It's not possible. But we can become a little bit better than we were yesterday. We can become a little bit more skilled, a little bit more happy and comfortable with who we are. I can become better at martial arts even if I get older, because strength isn't involved. I become a more intelligent practitioner. I have a great time with friends. I stay young, I stay fit, I stay happy. That's the secret. That's why I'm training. It's nothing magical. There's no mystery in it. It's just that I don't quit. I stay the path every day. All day I train. I train dozens of classes every week. I teach full time. I have more mat time than most of my teachers because I have a full-time school. That's the secret. You just got to keep going and going and going. Gambate is the Japanese term. Don't stop. Keep going. If you've quit and you want to get back to your school, go and do it. Talk to your sensei. Maybe he or she is open-minded enough to take you back. We certainly do at our school. A lot of people might watch this and it might inspire them that they want to go back and train. Wonderful. Some people will watch this and they'll be all negative about it, and they'll say, well, you're all mightier than thou and you're telling us what to do. I'm just telling you my experience and what I went through. You can disregard it completely, but I do know what I'm talking about after 30 plus years of training. I know. I've seen it all, my friends. I have seen everything you can imagine. I've seen all the good and the bad, and I see patterns over and over again that happen when you hit your black belt. And to me, it's about perseverance. It's about staying the course and attaining your goals. Leave your comments below. Like or dislike the video. Email me at norcross9@aol.com. Tell me your feelings. What does your school do? I'd love to hear about your organization, and maybe you have issues with your school, or you have tips that will help me and my students. I'd love to hear them. We're all on the same team together. We're all martial artists. We love what we do. So we have to have a respect for each other, a camaraderie, a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a family. Life is short, so it's my opinion that I'm going to hang out with the most positive people I can and hopefully you'll become a friend of this channel, and you can continue to email us with your frequently asked questions. I'll try to help if I can. Again, if I can't help, I'll find someone who can. Have a good day.